this feeling, baby, we're invincible.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Notts County. If you're enjoying the series, drop a like on the video, that would be spectacular. We start on the page of Niall Dropkick McPhee. Some of you guys said you wanted to see how he's developing. So he's 2.5 stars at the moment. As you can see, his potential has taken a slight knock. Makes me think that perhaps he might not be quite as good as we thought, but he does now have a resolute personality, which I presume he's picked up from the mentoring of the squad. There's a few quite standout factors about old Niall McPhee. You know, great determination, although, again, that seems to have taken a knock due to something in the mentoring. Flair is solid, first touch is good, good bravery, acceleration, pace. A lot of things to like about him. The issue really comes down to his crossing and dribbling. Dribbling's okay. Finishing is pretty poor as well, as is his crossing. So I really think that the issue for McPhee is simply going to be that he's never going to quite be able to get the best attributes for those roles. And when you look, like, he's better than Milan Bars on that side. But you'll notice a certain Lili is creeping onto the list here as the third best left-sided player. And I want to quickly show you him as well, because I actually think long-term he might be the one because of that 14 crossing. Now, 7 dribbling is worse than McPhee. Fine. But it's not that much worse, and his finishing is, again, slightly worse. Now, he's not as determined, and his personality is a little bit more balanced, but that 14 crossing makes me think that he could actually be something on that left-hand side. Now, he's also younger. Great acceleration, agility, pace. He's a real nippy winger who could whip some great balls in. And that 14 crossing at 17 years old makes me think he could get that really, really high. And also, the potential seems a little bit higher on him. Now, he's got a few things that I don't super like the consistency and things like that, and I don't know what that one is. Competitive streak. Also, he's not fully got used to this role yet, and also he's weak left-footed, so the problem is he'd be way more suited, honestly, possibly, to actually retraining him as a right winger, but we don't really need that right now. Let me know your thoughts on what we should really do with Lee. Maybe an inside forward? I'm not really sure, because a great crossing, though, that's the problem. Unless he cuts back inside. Maybe we can get him to cut inside and cross. I don't know, but you can see his progression has been far more good, frankly. Got a few assists so far in the non-competitive matches. Pleased with his progress. A new dance originating in nightclubs in Nottingham called the McPhee is beginning to sweep the nation, repeatedly mimicking slide tackle as you gradually move across the room. Oh yes. McPhee and his crawling worm goal is the ideal score tactic. You may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like. I can't argue with that. I accidentally read Tom Tozer's name as Tom Tosser. Well, maybe that's how he pronounces it. Have any Notts County or any players on your side interacted with you over the course of the series? I assume you mean in real life, and the answer to that is no. Honestly, when I've done these series, I've rarely ever had much interaction from the clubs or players involved. The two best examples of this I can think of is one's Stockport County tweeting out the final episode last year and talking about John Vere, which was absolutely glorious stuff. And also the whole situation with George Pilbeam, i.e. G-Pills, that player we had at Wimbledon who I forgot to release, and he stayed at the club for the entirety of the save, and then we gave him a testimonial. That I know for a fact he saw as well. So yeah, that's about the extent of it, unfortunately. And I guess it's not the end of the world, really, because these are real people, of course. Right, so our start to League One has actually been pretty solid. I don't think it's going to be the same as last year, and I genuinely feel like the position we're in at the moment is a little bit false. But what I would also say is that we've picked a bloody good game for today's live comment. You'll understand why in a sec. So straight after our opening day victory of 2-0 against Ipswich Town, we went away to Wigan, and honestly, I thought we should have lost this one. That being said, we did create a few chances, and as you can see, once again, Regan Booty was sensational in this one. He got an assist and 7 key passes, man of the match award, but we were 2-0 down. Lapsley and Kyle Scott, you know, they were 2-0 up inside 71 minutes, and I thought, this is done. But then we got a goal back through who other than Niall McPhee on the 73rd minute. I thought maybe there's a chance, but then Regan Booty whips the ball in, and there is Dara O'Shea to give us a 90th minute equaliser at the DW Stadium. Really, really solid comeback from the lads. Akinola was poor again in this game, though, which is a little bit concerning, but once again, Dehaney, fantastic. And we were then able to parlay into a very, very scrappy victory over Charlton in the next game, with Regan Booty scoring in the 69th minute. Nice! But it was just a game of poor quality in general, to be perfectly honest. Nobody had really a lot of shots on target. Charlton created a fair number of opportunities themselves. I think a draw would have been a much more fair result in this. But what I would say is Harry Hamblin came off the bench, had to play in the midfield, got 2 key passes, some chances created, and an assist on the night for Regan Booty, because he lumped the ball over the top. Booty made a run behind and slotted it into the bottom corner with his 2nd goal of the season. He's already equalled his tally from last year. Crazy start of the year. Another man of the match award for Regan Booty. And then we had Wigan in the EFL Cup, and we were able to go to the DW this time and take the win. This time we went behind early on through Callum Lang with an absolutely thunderous effort, but then Regan Booty, 3rd goal of the year, scored before half-time, and this was a direct free kick. We scored a direct free kick. And then, in the 71st minute, Milan Bars gave us the winner. He barely featured for us at all last year, and he's come up and scored the winner for us in the EFL Cup. Now, this was basically a full-strength side, as you can see, for the most part, because we kind of had to, because the ball wanted me to get through in this one, which is a bit frustrating, because we've basically had weekend, midweek, words are fun. for this entire season so far. So we've really had very few breaks, to be honest. But another stonky performance from Regan Booty, and I can't really argue with that. But then we finally did go down to our first defeat of the season. Gavin Riley's winner gave Crewe the victory over us. Crewe was sitting 20th in the league at the time. It's hard to be disappointed considering what their expectations were for us this year, and we really were not good on the night. Booty was still probably our best player on the pitch with some key passes in there, but nothing really came off for us. Unfortunately, Tyrese Campbell, once again, I think one-on-ones just seem to be nerfed at the moment because he's been getting some one-on-ones and just not scoring them. He's got 13 composure this time. I don't know, do they need 20 in order to score them? It's frustrating, but there you go. And then lastly, we had an absolutely humdinger of a game at Valley Parade. The Utilita Energy Stadium Valley Parade. It just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? But yes, a 3-2 victory away. We went in front very early on through Tyrese Campbell. Really nice goal, actually. Not a one-on-one, though, which is why I expect it was scored. Then they immediately equalised through Sam Dolby. And then things kind of just went off the rails later in this game. We won a penalty later on, and Orna Hegeber scored his first goal for the club from the spot. He's got good pens and good finishing, so it makes sense for him to take it. And then Charlie Oliver made it 3-1 before Jake Reeves, I'm pretty certain was in our Wimbledon save, got one back for Bradford City late on, and they had another chance in the 93rd minute. They should have really equalised. We were terrible defensively late on, but look at this. We were actually really solid in this one. Robbie Burton was excellent in the midfield this time. Booty played slightly deeper because we had a slight injury to Sam Hughes, but Robbie Burton did a really solid job stepping in, and that's the difference for me, having those extra players. But as you can see, that's a pretty solid start to the year in all honesty. I feel like we're a bit fortunate maybe to have won one of the matches, the Charlton one particularly, and this one, I think we probably deserved it on the balance of things, but still. And amazingly, that actually does leave us second place, but you can see we're already 5 points off the top, because that team at the top is who we're playing today at home. It's Fleetwood Town. I couldn't have picked a better match for this one, but you can see that literally one defeat could see us drop down as far as 12th. Those late goals against Bradford were the difference between us finishing where we are right now and being as far down as 9th place, which is still really, really excellent at this point. And the main thing is we're 8 points above the drop. That's the key thing. And also 20 points above Bolton, who have still yet to get their first win of the season, the poor sods. But it's weird that Southend are literally mimicking real life Southend at the moment with already a minus 13 goal difference. Not so great. We're not scoring as many goals as we were before, and Tyrese Campbell's only managed 2 so far for us and Hegeber 1, so we definitely don't look anywhere near as sort of free flowing, which is fine because again we're playing against much higher quality opposition. Honestly, I reckon I would settle happily for this kind of mid-table mediocrity because I really don't think we're going to be able to keep this up as long as we did last year. There's already little cracks and we do look a little bit vulnerable in places, but that's fine by me. I just want to build it for this year. I haven't been able to sign any new players because nobody's really struck my eye, to be honest. I've been trying to get a few more of the regions to come through the thing, but just nothing's really gone, that's the guy that we really need to sign right now. And I wanted to sign a replacement for Brandon Fleming because there's something I don't like there, but none of the players my scouts have bought me. Either they're too small and not got the aerial ability, and therefore aren't any better than Brandon Fleming anyway, or they're much too strong in the air and don't have any of the forward capabilities. And I think that's kind of the problem we've got in that spot. And I think we might just have to accept that for now, unless anyone comes up in the next couple of weeks, which just seems a little bit unlikely if I'm honest. Might as well do a question of the day since we're here right now. We're having a lovely old time. Question of the day. So this is a bit of a weird one, a little bit off topic of football, but I'm sure most of you will have got or those of you with Spotify accounts anyway, will have got your sort of year in music account. So I want to know is what was like the top one that got you basically for the last year? Because for me, it was Hans Zimmer. Like I listen to a lot of theatrical stuff when I'm like reading or working sometimes and stuff, and so Hans Zimmer always just ends up on there. But other than him, like band-wise, it was Architects, which is not a huge surprise really. So who was yours? Any weird ones in there? Let me know. So Sunderland could have actually gone above us with a win, but they actually lost at home to Bradford City in their match. So there you go. Where are Fleetwood are playing us today? Of course they are. Bolton play Crewe. Poor Bolton. Poor Bolton. See, this is the thing. Crewe beat us this year. They're 20th. I think we're their only win. It's like Mansfield last time. So their form is excellent, no surprises there. They are the favourites, Stuart McCall's Fleetwood Town. So, I've been trying some different people out. You can see that Dara O'Shea's been training really poorly, which is odd, I've got to say. So, I've been trying out Ian Saunders, trying out Ron Coates, because I want to try and find one of these guys that's, look, they're all kind of basically evening it up here. I'm going to bring back in Baldwin for today, just to wrestle things around a little bit. Is Sam Hughes fit again? He is. Okay, that's fine. So we'll go back to our standard midfield 3, although I'm really pleased with Robbie Burton's impact. You know, he was man of the match in his first proper start for us, I think. O'Shea and Akinola. So Akinola does concern me a little bit with that 6.78, but it might just be teething problems. I'm all right with that. McPhee obviously there, and Campbell will start up front. He's our star player, and he really does need to pick it up a little bit. But I've got big faith in the lad. I feel like he could easily be what Toezy is to us. And unfortunately, Hegeber will suffer from that. But we've got to kind of keep Tyrese Campbell pleased, really, because he has got such a huge And maybe it was a bit of a silly move citing someone like that, but I felt like we needed a striker and I wanted one to actually be our player. Because, like, people make the jokes about how I change my striker every year in the early stages of these seasons, and I do, because most of the time they're on loan. So I actually wanted one to be ours for once, and I feel like he could be that guy. But we'll have to see. Maybe he'll just settle in, get used to the team a little bit more. Maybe he'll have a job. Let's just take a look at the dynamics, actually. See if we can see the social groups. Maybe there's a reason for that. You see, this is the thing. He doesn't fit into any social groups. So some of these guys are all sort of outside of it. And a lot of the new guys here, which makes sense. But Hegeberg settled straight in. And that does make you wonder if he was put in the team, whether he would do a better job as a result of that. So, yeah. That is a little bit concerning. I don't know. Maybe he'll gel after a little while. But that could be a problem later down the line. But the Dara O'Shea training thing is a little bit concerning as well, actually. It's very, very poor. I might have a word. So, Fleetwood Town. Okay, fair enough. Hunter been scoring goals for days so far. Is that Paddy Madden as well? They've got a pretty solid team here, haven't they? For a second, I thought that he had the same name as that guy that used to play for Poland. I think it was Emmanuel Olezadebe. He was such a cool... He was like my favourite player in, like... on the 2002 World Cup game, I always used to play as Poland because for some reason I loved Emmanuel Olezadebe. I think that was his name. In fact, screw it. Let's throw in another question of the day while we're here. Who was your favourite, just out-of-the-box weird player that like would be a favourite of yours that everyone else would be like, what? Who? Shut up? For me, it was him. We haven't had a game in a while that I consider to be a free hit. This is that. This is totally that. All right, then. Notts County versus Fleetwood Town. A win for Fleetwood would see them go probably 8 points clear at the top of the league after only 6 matches. Shows you how bad the league is in places. Shows you how bunched up things have become at this early stage. Hughes. And the McDons are leading. Oh, O'Reilly snuck in there. And it's a good save by Krellin. Okay, good chance for us. Bristol Rovers seem to have a lot of goals in them this season as well. They play the ball around quite nicely too, don't they? Oh, hello. Intercepted by O'Reilly. Go on, Tyrese. Make that run, lad. Matt O'Reilly doesn't make the run. Oh, hang on, he's in. Tyrese Campbell. Great save by Krellin. It's been a pretty strong start. Oh, here we go. Booty territory. Oh, go short for dropkick. Penalty? Apparently, Eastham held back Niall McPhee there. It's a chance for Tyrese Campbell from the spot to get a little bit of confidence back in his game, and he has scored it. Notts County 1, Fleetwood Town 0. Tyrese Campbell's 3rd goal of the season. It's nice to see him score another goal, just for his confidence, but he still hasn't scored one like a one-on-one chance for us, and I really do think he needs to, but it's nice to see him get on. We've got the lead, and that was such a weird goal. The penalty was Cambridge United winning their game too. Booty's ball. Akinola headed wide. Mansfield 2-0 up in their game as well. Oh, Jesus. This is where Akinola should be decent, because he's got that pace. There we go, gets across and makes the block. That's where we seem to have really improved. Half-time, I would happily take 1-0 at half-time here. Fleming. And Fleming's gone past Madden. Can he pull this out for someone? He does. Baldwin! What a strike. God lord, the power he got in that was insane. There we go. Half-time, we've created some chances, but the one we lead from is the penalty. Tyrese Campbell scores it. Booty's still having an excellent... Look at that, 95% pass completion for Regan Booty. Is he just like a blessed player that we've got? Niall McPhee's not been great, though. I mean, I'm super happy with that. But again, I wish we'd take the chances that we actually create from open play. It really does seem that that's an issue for us, is actually taking those. Thankfully, we create enough, generally speaking, that we're able to do that. But we're building a really solid side at the moment. Okay, Niall McPhee's had a really poor day, so Milan Bars will come in. And I might actually make a change here as well and go for Saunders. I didn't actually sort the bench out before the match, did I? Jesus. I want to keep giving the likes of Saunders and Coates time on the pitch, because I feel like they're the future at the end of the day, because Baldwin isn't going to be here forever. Fleming's ball, and there is Ian Saunders at the back post, scoring his 1st ever goal for Notts County. I'm very glad I brought him on, and also Brandon Fleming with the assist. We've deserved this. It's been a truly sensationally strong performance. We just look really solid. Fleming does really nicely, but this is a lovely pick out from him to the back post, and it's a great finish from Ian Saunders. Keeper can't quite get there, and it's his 1st goal. Really, really pleased for the lad. Jesus Christ. Inside there. Oh, Fleming's been caught out. Fleming blocks the shot brilliantly at the end there. For us to get this victory here, but wouldn't send us top. And there we go, Notts County 2, Fleetwood 0. Really, really solid performance. Tyrese Campbell scored a goal. Pleased for him, but Ian Saunders even more pleased for that lad, because it's proving that he can do it in this league, sort of. Brandon Fleming as well. For a guy I was very unsure about, man of the match today against top of the league. Maybe he's going to prove me wrong this year. Maybe we don't need another guy in that role. Maybe he just had a poor season, but really, really pleased for Ian Saunders most of all. Can't really argue with that. I mean, 2nd in the league. Bristol Rovers admittedly could go back above us because they look like possibly the real team to beat this season, because they'll go back above both of us with a victory and we could drop back down to 3rd place. But still, we're right across. There's a lot of teams up in that little battle, and sure, a couple of defeats would send us down there, but we've won 4 of our first 6 matches. But it does kind of feel like if you can sort out a tactic early on and sign the right kind of players that suit that style, you can kind of just shoot up through the first couple of divisions. It seems to have been the case for the last couple of FMs. What I'm going to be doing with the next save, although I'm not going to tell you too much about it, is the The challenge will also be due to our stature as well, and I'm going to put loads of handicaps on the actual club itself that will prevent us from... that will give us extra challenges, essentially, and you'll understand more of what I mean when we get to that point. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I've still got to work on for that save, but it's going to be an absolute epic one. But it's going to be a lot more difficult because I'm going to have to make it difficult, you know? Not that this is easy, I grant you, but we are certainly having the success that I would have dreamed about right now. Who is good and who can we play in the next episode? No, I feel like we'll do a double live com. You guys like to double live com, so we're going to do Oxford and Peterborough away in double live com because they're both up there, generally speaking. And that means there's only actually one league game off camera, which will be against Shrewsbury at home. A difficult one as well, but there's also a couple of sort of cup matches in there as well to sort of just ruin our season, so to speak. We don't really need to get past Oxford United, but I'm going to try anyway, because why not have a little bit of a cup run as well? There's nothing wrong with that. Give us a bit of extra funds. So yeah, next episode, Oxford United and Peterborough United, both away from home. Both very, very difficult matches for us. But if we don't lose to Shrewsbury, then we'll definitely be within the shot of some good results in those games, potentially. Who knows? Anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode, and I really hope you have, also we lost to Forest in pre-season, which kind of sucks. Yeah, drop a like, that'll be fantastic, and I will see you guys in the next episode. If you're new, subscribe. I'll join you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.